It's one of those days today. It's big. It's heavy. It's cold. It's gray. It is overwhelming. And I've got a lot to do. And I know many of you have a lot to do. And on days like this, you don't know where to start, and you don't know how you're going to do any of it, let alone all of it. So I caught myself speaking out loud, something that I do on a regular basis. I talk myself through things, and I thought that this is something useful to share. So when I'm in one of these states where the world just feels bigger than me and it doesn't feel good, I break things down into the smallest moment possible. And I'm choosing the word moment there rather than step, because I used to break things down into the smallest steps possible. But there's still a goal when you break things down into steps. And what I've learned is that this is a useful strategy when you're, say, at 50% of capacity. You can break a goal into smaller goals and still get it done. But when you're down to, say, 10 to 15% capacity, any sense of there being a goal is going to be too much. So breaking things down into steps isn't going to work. You're still not going to engage. And this makes me think of the Nike slogan or meme, just do it. And when we say just do it, first of all, the it is not defined. It is not clear at all what it is that we're doing. And the just part as well, it's like there's a part of you that lacks empathy that's saying, get over it. Just do it. Okay, well, what does just mean? Like, how do I go from 0 to 60, from 0 to it? Especially when I don't know what it is or what it entails or how I'm going to find the energy to do it. So the just part is the left hemisphere of the brain, which does lack empathy. Empathy is something that the right hemisphere processes. So the left hemisphere is saying, I don't understand why this is difficult for you. I don't understand these feelings that you're talking about. So what? Who cares about feelings? Just do it. And the right hemisphere is like, feelings are real. Gravity is real. The speed that I'm able to move is real. The temperature outside is real. These things exist. And I have to move in their midst. So the level of gas in my gas tank is something I have to factor in. So when we let go of the left hemisphere perspective of just do it, where the general is commanding the private to do something without any idea of what that experience is actually like, when we let that go and open up into what the right hemisphere is really good at, exploration in the midst of ambiguity, then let go takes on a very different meaning. Let as in allowing, and go as in explore. Like, you don't have to tell a child to explore. Generally, what a parent does is tell a child not to explore. They don't say, hey child, go explore. They say, hey kids, stop touching that. Get over here. Get away from that. Leave it alone. We naturally want to explore. And the right hemisphere is the first part of the brain that develops fully. And this is why children are exploring everything when they're young, because they're primarily right hemisphere. So we want to let ourselves go. So what I said to myself a few minutes ago was, let's go. Not the willful commander saying, hey, just do it, you. But the advocate in us saying, hey, I got you. Let's go. Let's discover what's possible in this moment. Don't worry about an it. Let's move in the midst of what you're feeling. Let's move in the midst of the environment that you're in and see what we can do. All right? So I'm now going to see what I can do. Check in later. Peace. I'm going outside to move. The goal is movement. Will it be a run? I don't know. Will it be a walk? I don't know. Yesterday I went for one of these movement activities and it stayed a walk. I tried a little bit of running and it didn't feel good, so it just turned into almost a 5-mile walk. And then later in the day I went out again and it turned into a run, and I felt good and I was moving pretty quickly. So I just allowed those workouts to, again, workout is a challenging term. I allowed those movement episodes to just evolve the way they did. And that's what I'm going to go do now. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. Looking at this porch here with those two supports, and they're holding up a house that clearly wants to fall down. And it reminds me of hope. Hope can be really useful to support you to take the steps necessary to fix your foundation, but you have to take the steps, because eventually even the hope is going to rot and it's going to fall down, and the porch is still really unstable. Your foundations are still really unstable. So hope can be useful, but only if you take the steps. If you hope things are going to change and you're trying to support yourself with hope, but you're not engaged in a process that is going to transform or improve things, hope is eventually going to crash down as well.